Good morning, judges. My name is Mick Chen, and I'm here today to present to you my phenomenal science fair project. So the topic is to test bacteriophages and natural antibiotics in its ability to kill bacteria. So if you don't know what bacteriophages are, they're this very fascinating organism. They're the most deadliest organism, and they're this virus that specifically hunts bacteria. And natural antibiotics, they're everyday herbs that you see and you probably have in your household, like lemons, black pepper, honey. These everyday herbs that are thought to be bacteria killing, like lemons. And I wanted to test their ability in bacteria killing. Now you might be asking, why did I choose this topic for my science fair? Now, about a year back, I watched this YouTube video on bacteriophages, and it was really interesting and fascinating to me, and I wanted to learn more. So I decided to dedicate this year's science fair on the topic, to test and research bacteriophages. So I designed an experiment. I would take 7 petri dishes and choose 5 herbs. The 5 herbs I chose was garlic, honey, lemon, ground ginger, and juniper berries. Now, I placed those 5 antibiotics into the petri dishes with gelatin. The gelatin will help the bacteria grow. I'll explain that later. And I also placed bacteriophages and a control, which was rubbing alcohol. Now, after placing all of these antibiotic replacements into the petri dishes, I placed 1 millimeter of E. coli bacteria into those petri dishes and put them in a warm, dark place for 1 week. After the 1 week, here are these results. So, on the left-hand side are the antibiotic replacements, and here are the average spore counts, how many spores grew in each petri dish. So bacteriophages, 1, lemon, 2, or 25, my mistake. Alcohol, 6, juniper berries, 45, honey, 43, garlic, only 1, and ground ginger, 30. So surprisingly, lemons didn't do so well. Average spore count 25. So this is some evidence that contradicts that lemons are a good bacteria killer. Now some evidence or some conclusions that can be drawn from this evidence is that garlic, bacteriophages, and alcohol are excellent bacteria killers, while all the rest, like lemon, ground ginger, juniper berries, and honey, are not so great. So you should probably avoid from using them to kill bacteria. Now here's some future research that could be improved on. So one is to test more bacteriophages. The bacteriophage I used was T4. Now there are so many other bacteriophages out there, so they can be tested in their bacteria killing effectiveness. Now there are also more herbs out there that could be tested, so we can test all of those herbs. Now some challenges, everyone loves challenges. Some challenges I faced was that my first experiment failed. Towards the end, I realized that I needed a spectrophotometer, which is a device that measures light waves, and it can pretty much calculate how much bacteria is in a given space. So I did not have that. It was $6,000. I do not have that money, so I had to redesign my experiment. So those were the 2 challenges I faced. Now, the methods. As I said, I was going to use a spectrophotometer, but that I couldn't get my hands on it. So instead, as I explained, I just counted how many spores grew in each petri dish. The more spores that were grown, the less effective the antibiotic replacements were. I hope you found my project interesting and very fascinating, or that at least you learned something. So thank you so much for your time, and have a good rest of your day.